This Mass does not have that. So let's practice.
North.
That's good. That was good. Who has the brand new, beautifully renovated theater at North?
North.
Who has Sterner's Restaurant?
North.
Who has Samario's?
North.
Casabella?
North.
Market Street?
North.
Natali's? Fratelli's?
North.
You know, so all those things happen in North, and I could go on and on and on. You know, if you looked around last night, if you drive up West Market Street, just over there where the gym is, you can't find a parking spot. And many friends of mine have called me and said, what is going on in North Scranton tonight? I'm like, nothing unusual. We have become the center of the city. That's why we wanted it. And there's 500 kids in that bidding program. That might be the largest bidding program in the state of Pennsylvania. Maybe in the United States. 500 every minute is registered so every kid gets some playing time. And so maybe they come to Mass. And that 4 o'clock Mass, there are times you can't get a seat here. I see more people at that Mass than many priests see all weekend. Then maybe they go out, they want McDonald's, you go up there, fried chicken, whatever, or you go to Sterner's, Natali's, Casabella, Fratelli. Everybody comes here on Saturday night to where it's almost impossible to park. And it's like that every Saturday night, especially during the wintertime. I'm very proud of that, and the church is a part of that. But it wasn't always that way. I grew up in Southside, lived here most of my life. And each of the parts of the city had a certain distinctive. I mean, St. Anne's over in West Side is a basilica. There's only a few of those in the world. West Side had their own high school. North Scranton didn't have that. You know, Southside, when I was growing up, we had a bishop as our pastor. Very few parishes in the country had that. We did. Made Southside have a bishop. Hill section had the University of Scranton, major college. The lower hill had all the hospitals. Greenreach had the well-to-do. You know that. North Scranton, kind of had a little bit of an inferiority complex, maybe, I don't know. We didn't have that big high school. You guys walked to Central and Tech, downtown. My God. And now that's all changed. Too bad for those other parts of the city. We're number 1 now. But that helps you understand today's gospel. They show up in Jerusalem, which is where you would go. Jerusalem's the center of the world, religiously, and you could argue, still is. And they said, where is this Jesus? And the king said, well, let's come talk to the leaders and religious leaders. And they said, no, it's not going to be in Jerusalem. You got to go to Bethlehem. Bethlehem? Talk about an inferiority complex. They probably had never heard of Bethlehem. Bethlehem? We got to go to Bethlehem? That's like, you know, the stepchild at the family reunion. No, that's where he's going to show up. And people thought they were the little guys. No. They became the place where Jesus would be born. Think about that. And that is a good example of how the spiritual life works. It doesn't happen where you think it will happen. It doesn't. My job is largely visiting hospitals and nursing homes, and that's good. That's better than worry about the money to pay for a leaky roof. And what you find is, it is in sickness and even suffering that you find God. You don't find Him in the good times. You probably don't appreciate Him in the good times. But when you're sick and suffering, been there. Most of you have. Most of us at this Mass are pretty old people. We've had our ups and downs. It's in suffering and sickness that you search to see how God is working with you and through you. It is sickness and suffering and death that teach you patience and humility. I don't control my own destiny. Don't get better. I had a meniscus surgery. It took 3 months. I thought a little thing will get better right away. No, it didn't. It was annoying. But I had to learn to take it easy. And you learn a lot of humility. You think you can control your own fate. No, you talk to a sick person. They're in a different place. And they search for God. The person for whom everything is going right, well, you know. So that's where the young people struggle. They think they have all the answers. They don't even know the questions. They need to be faced with adversity. You ask a basketball coach, it's when the team loses that you find out a lot about yourself, not the victories. So when there's sickness and stuff, that's where God is found. It's funny how it works. The wise men had to learn. Bethlehem. Yeah. In a minute, I'll offer the bread and wine for you, giving our whole lives to God. The wise men brought their gifts, gold, frankincense, myrrh. We give ourselves to God. And in giving ourselves away, we will find Him. Let us stand, my friends, and we'll offer